Hello, welcome. I'm Hannah, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite products of 2022. I wasn't going to do this video because I feel like compared to a lot of other people that make year-end favorites, I don't try that many new products out other than eyeshadows. I already made a video about my top 20 favorite indie single shadows of the year, and I will be doing a video about all of the palettes that I bought this year once I kind of get like my head wrapped around it a little bit better. So this is just gonna kind of be the rest of the stuff. I thought this might be valuable though, because I'm not in a constant stage of testing out new face products and lip products and stuff, so I feel like I have a more concise collection of things that I really love. At first this was just going to be things that I tried out for the first time in 2022, like how I did my eyeshadow video, but I really just don't have enough. So it's just going to be products that I have been loving and constantly using this year. At first, when I was thinking about just having it be products that I tried for the first time this year, I had one thing that automatically came to mind, and it's this palette from Cover FX. This is several years old. I got it at the BoxyCharm sale in May, I think. It was actually kind of fun. I talked about it in the What I Bought in May video a long time ago. I'm not a subscriber of BoxyCharm, and I guess for certain sales they allow non-members to purchase from it. So this palette was, I think, $9, and I had wanted it for a really long time. I think it was Kathleen Lights years ago talked about it. I almost bought it for the $40 price tag, but I knew realistically I probably won't get use out of two of the shades, and what if this isn't the perfect shade for me and then I'm just wasting $40 for a palette that I know might be too deep for me? But for the $9 price tag, I decided to go for it. I was really excited, and something about the way this highlight goes on is just so pretty. I tend to say I don't want like a blingy, see it from space type of highlight, but I also don't want something that's just like a really subtle powder. This manages to be like almost metallic without being too much, without being a stripe. Like it's a statement, but in just such like a pretty way that sits on my skin beautifully. I already do have a little highlight on, but I'm gonna try to put some more of this guy on. If you're curious, I am wearing eyeshadows from the Christmas palette that I posted the other day on Christmas. I don't know if you can see what I mean, but there it is in action, and I love it. Definitely more of a statement here than this one, but still like pretty. It moves with the light. I really like it. And you know, I think sometimes there's just products that just like speak to you, you know, they just make you excited. And for me, this one was definitely love at first swipe. Since I have you zoomed in, I'm just gonna quickly touch on the next product, which is this Kissing lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. It's in the shade Runway Royalty. I'm definitely someone that's intrigued by Charlotte Tilbury products. They just seem very like glamorous and chic. And I have a couple lipsticks from her, but I find that a lot of like the nudes tend to go a little bit orange. So I had the shade Stoned Rose that I wanted to be this like perfect peachy nude, and it was just like too orange for me. I ended up decluttering it, and around the same time I saw this one, and in all the swatches I looked at, it seemed like it just didn't have that orange quality to it, and I can attest to it being like a really pretty, perfect nude for me. I do tend to use it with the lip liner, but I'm just gonna go in now. I did have my lip liner on before, but I think it came off when I just wiped off my lip product. So I think you can tell it's a color very similar to my lips, but I like it. I like the soft cream finish, I like the feel of it, and I like the component and the experience. I have three eyeliners that just give me so much joy. The first of them, I don't think it's still available anywhere, so I'm just going to touch on it really briefly, but it's this House Laboratories eyeliner in the shade Priscilla, which is like this really pretty, bright, baby blue. This is from when they were still retailing at Amazon. I just love how creamy it is. It really pops on my eyes. I wear this all the time, so if you've watched some of my videos before, I bet you've seen it. It just makes me so happy. I hope they'll bring this color to their Sephora line because I think it's the best thing that they had in the Amazon line. Not that I tried that many products, but from what I've seen and what I've deduced, this is it. I actually bought a backup of that before they stopped selling it on Amazon when it was also in like super deep discount. So I feel like, I hope it doesn't dry out. The eyeliners eventually dry out. I don't know, but I hope to enjoy that for years to come. The next one is a Danessa Myricks eyeliner. It's one of like the multi-chrome eyeliners and it's in the shade Lemon Quartz. I really went back and forth on what shade to buy because I was interested in like the light lavender one and also in like the jade one. But I felt like they looked very light, and this one just seemed like it would have impact. It would bring something new to my stash of eyeliners, and it would go with a lot of things, and it really does fulfill all those qualities. I don't know if you could see the shifts or anything here, but the thing that I love about this is it really does apply in my waterline very nicely. I feel like I've been duped time and time again by buying eyeliners that swatch beautifully on my hand in the store and then I bring them home and they like drag on my waterline or they just don't show up full pigment and then I end up not using them that much. But this one, I just think it looks really pretty. I don't know if you can necessarily see the multi-chrome-ness to it. Like, I feel like I've noticed it before when I'm really inspecting, looking for it. I wouldn't say it's the most prominent shift though, but I do like the shine in it. I am a fan of a shimmery eyeliner. And then the third eyeliner I want to touch on is the product of all of these that I've gotten the most recently, but I can already tell. Sometimes you just know when something's like a big favorite, and this is that. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame eyeliner. It's this like brownish burgundy, and I love the shade. I've worn it a bunch of times. Oh, and actually the tip's kind of worn down right now, but I can get a swatch. It's just like a really pretty, sexy color. I really like it with my green eyes, but I think it would look pretty on everyone. I'm not a fan of like a super deep, dark eyeliner, but I feel like this one is deep without like blocking off my eyes, you know, without like outlining my eyes. And so far I've worn it with neutral looks, I've worn it with like purpley looks and pink looks. I feel like sometimes with brands that you think of highly, like me with Charlotte Tilbury for some reason, I see the vision when I put it on. Like it transcends just what exactly it is on my lower lash line and just like makes me feel like that girl, you know what I mean? But I really, really, really like it. I've used it many times since I've gotten it like a month ago, and I have no plans of slowing down. Quick shout out to some very unexciting, very staple products. I have my e.l.f. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's in the bite-sized line. I get the shade Taupe, and I just use the powder parts. I love this. No complaints, no notes. I use it on my brows pretty much every day. This and the other two things I'm going to show you are like, they're so good in their category that I don't really feel the need to even look for other things to use, you know? Like I feel like I have the best brow product for me. It's a great color. It's an easy to use formula. It's extremely inexpensive, which is just the cherry on top. And I'm off the market for brow products because this one's so good. And then just my base combo, my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I love this so much. It just gives me like a nice, light, even coverage that wears for a long time, but also when it does start to wear off, wears off in a very even way that never looks weird or harsh. It is a drugstore product, but I'll mention that like, for me, I'm not looking for the most budget option possible. If my favorite foundation was $50, I would buy that. I'd be a little less excited to spend the $50, but I would buy it. But I don't use this because it's like $5 on Amazon. I use it because it truly is the best one that I know of. And since I first tried this, I think like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it came out, every time I've used a different foundation, I don't like it as much as I like this. And then we have my Tarte Shape Tape. I like a concealer with more coverage. I find that whenever I don't use this, I just feel like the line under my eye is harsher than I want it to be, and it's distracting from my eye makeup. So I just love this one, and I have no reason to look for others. I do get tempted sometimes by foundations, I'll admit that, but at this point at least, I don't have any plans to try out any other brow colors, concealers, or foundations. I was struggling with dry shampoos for a really long time. Every dry shampoo I tried, I felt like just made my hair worse than it was before, or like it would keep away the oils for like a moment, but I still would have to wash it immediately. And that all changed when I tried the Detox Dry Shampoo from Dry Bar. That sounds like an ad, but it's not. I just feel like this genuinely cleans my hair. The white cast goes away if I remember to shush it. Sometimes I don't remember and then I'll have white spots, but when I do the thing, it goes away. I have also been enjoying the Living Proof dry shampoo recently, but I'll actually be touching on that in an empties video soon because I feel like the samples I had ran out really quickly. So that kind of reinforces to me that this Dry Bar one is the one for me. I'm not one to like use the phrase holy grail, but I do feel like I've found and like accepted my holy grail products in a lot of categories this year. And that's kind of like a nice feeling. Like I'm done with my search of dry shampoos. I'll try others if they fall into my lap like the Living Proof samples did, but I'm no longer looking for dry shampoos. And it is nice to not be going through the process anymore where like I need to use a product now and I don't know how it's going to work. Along the same lines is this eye cream, which, you know, I don't tend to talk about skincare because I find skincare very difficult to review because it's hard to tell if the positive effects you're feeling are from that specific product, if you are also using other products. But I'm really happy with this one. And I feel like I'm especially happy because for a long time in my skincare collection, it was mostly like samples from like gift bags from Ulta and those like little codes that you put in at Sephora, and maybe even like sets that I would buy of like Sephora favorites. They would include a couple things that would just be like stuck in a drawer, and then like when I run out of this eye cream, then I'll move on to the next sample, and if I don't like it, then I end up just not using eye cream for long periods of time. I feel like really taking account of my inventory and trying to get those numbers down has encouraged me to stop making purchases in order to get samples, because most of the time they're not going to be right for me. So it's been kind of a fun thing to run out of skincare products and make a good decision for myself about what to buy. So that's how I came across this one. I think it was like the first eye cream decision that I had made in years. I can think of one other that I made years ago that was like the pharmacy one, like the cherry acerola one or whatever, that I wouldn't buy today because besides the fact that it's an unexciting eye cream, you have to dip your finger into it, and I don't want to do that with skincare anymore. But this one's just really nice. I don't know if I said what it is, but it's the Ole Henriksen Wrinkle Blur Bakuchiol Eye Gel Cream. It's like just this little purple, I'll take a little bit out, okay? Just this little purple cream, and it's super soft. You can tell I don't want to waste it because it's my precious. And this is my second one, actually. I bought my first one, I think at the VIB sale in April, and then I bought my second one at the VIB sale in November. So like 2 of these a year, I can handle that. I really love it. It goes on my skin really nicely. It feels really nice on my skin, and it's what I've been using as an eye cream for the past like 8 months or so. No complaints. I have 4 nail polishes I want to talk about really quickly. I have Everlasting Gobstopper from Lights Lacquer, which I got for Christmas last year. And it's one of those things like the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner that like right away I knew it was a favorite. It's such a perfect, bright, but also kind of like muddled green. And every time I use it, I love how it looks on my hands. I also have Lily in Paris from Color Club. It's like the prettiest, bright periwinkle. Like I think the thing that I like about both of these is they're just like the right specific tone of a color that I like, and I'm really happy with them. I also feel like this year though, I got a little bit more into like glittery nails. There was a long time that I felt like anything nail polish with glitter on it just seemed kind of like cheap to me. And while I still enjoy a good cream, I'm just getting more into glitter nail polishes. I feel like they've come a long way since the days of them being this super chunky glitter that just like won't come off your nails no matter what you do. I had like a really scarring experience once actually where I used one of those like Sally Hansen nail strips and it was a glittery one. My friend was like literally trying to scrape it off my nails with an X-Acto knife. It was scarring. It wouldn't come off. But these, on the other hand, are this like really small micro glitter that when I remove them, they remove like any other cream polish. I'm talking about Mirage from Lights Lacquer and Glow Get 'em from Color Club. I'm not sure if these are still available, but there's definitely other nail polishes out there that are this type of like small glitter. And even for example, I'm wearing Winter Solstice from Copacetic now for the first time. And this is definitely in the same line. You can wear them on their own. You can wear them over other polishes. And I've just been having a lot of fun with nail polishes recently. Okay, we're getting towards the end. I have Kayali Musk, which I talked about in my fragrance video. It's just been my favorite perfume for like the past year. The first time I tried it was in the VIB sale last like October or November or whatever. And I just bought a new one recently. It's just such like a pretty, easy scent. I described in that video as smelling like a fancy old lady's bathroom in the best possible way, and I stand by that. I think that's just like the musk and kind of like powdery or like slightly floral scents to it. I love it. I think it's like hypnotizing. Okay, to finish it off, I just want to talk about two eyeshadow products that aren't single shadows or palettes that I bought this year. So the first one is Lucid from Urban Decay. This is just one of the single eyeshadows that I've had for a couple years, and it's the prettiest light teal inner corner. Something about the formula, I just feel like it has the right amount of iridescence, the right amount of impact, and I tend to wear this in my inner corners a lot, and it always comes through. If I had to pick one inner corner shade for life, I think it would be this one. That's a bold statement, but I mean it. And then the last eyeshadow product is actually the palette that I declared as my favorite palette of 2021. It's the Menagerie Flight Club, and I actually have two shades missing now that I think I took out when I was making my Barbie dupe palette. But either way, I can't stop reaching into this for my lower lash line. I love especially the mattes in it. I can make a full look with this, but that's not what I tend to do. But yeah, the mattes are just so pretty and pigmented. I like remember that they're in here, you know? It's like an easy grab and go station for my lower lash line. I want to try to like change it, but I'm just not someone that reaches for my palettes that much at this point in time. But if I'm like reaching for a palette, 9 out of 10 times it's this one. So there you have it. My favorite makeup products that aren't eyeshadows of 2022. I hope this was fun to watch, even though, as I said, I'm not that channel that has every single new product out there. I hope that's still like helpful because you know that all these products are things that I've completely vetted, other than the one eyeliner that like is just like an instant classic. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.